everyone, my name is Techno-Danger and I'm from Australia, Queensland. This is my second story about me and school assessments. So this assignment was for the last class of the term. My favourite class back in high school was music and practice. Very different from music and theory. So instead of writing songs and such, like learning how to read sheet music, we learned how to do practical stuff like setting up speakers, microphones, basically editing songs. Oh, it was a cool class. You got to sing for some of them for those assessments. One of those assessments even, you had to analyze a song, like break down like what all the instruments in a song were. I chose a song from one of my favorite bands because it had some great weird stuff, and I suggested it to my friend because I said, hey, they have a song where an elephant screams and it sounds like his trumpet, and you can write that down as one of the instruments. And he was a really kooky friend. It's Jake from my Bendy episode. Anyway, Jake went, yep, I want that. I want an elephant screaming on my assessment, and so that was a thing. But this is about different assignments. So the last assignment that we had to do for music and practice in last term was we had to make a music video. Pretty simple idea, right? You just take the video and you do the thing. It's more complicated than that. Ghost, my editor, can tell you. I didn't have Ghost then, and so we were all recording and editing these videos on our iPads. I didn't even realize this until my friend showed me hers and I helped edit hers, that everyone else in the class, they'd just chosen a song, they had changing images in the background and the lyrics pop onto the screen. Those lyric videos you always see on YouTube, that's what they made. I didn't get the memo about doing it that way. I actually made an actual film, a story. The video is actually up on my YouTube channel. It's my most popular one. Go watch it. It's actually pretty good. That was my phone. So this is the story about how I actually made that video. Everyone else was making those things. I went, fuck that, and I wrote a whole story based off of the song Adventures Out There by AJR. Everyone in the fandom nicknames it Socks, because it's got a line going, I keep losing my socks. It's about socks. The whole song is about socks. When I first heard the song months ago when it came out, I was like, oh my god, I can actually picture the music video they could do for this, about a pair of feet and a pair of socks falling in love. For months, I'd never even thought about making it until this assessment came along and went, you know what? This is my chance. This is my chance to actually make the music video in my head. I was wearing my shoes. I took my shoes off, and for the whole video, I wore my white school socks. And I had a very clear idea in mind. I wanted to make a story about a pair of feet who just loved their socks. So the intro was all happy and such. It took me a while to record the whole video, because I recorded in different locations. Like one time, I went to the beach with my family, and I was like, you know what? This is a good scene for the video. And I was like, hey mom, can you just record me in my bare feet looking for a pair of socks? We made like a little water channel to make the socks float through the water. No one ever realizes those are the socks, but yeah. I recorded in so many different places, especially around my school, because that was where I spent my whole life, school. I would record me in the library, in the music room, at lunchtime running around the paths. My friends would all help me out because they were having so much fun watching me just run around in my bare feet. I even got my friend to help me play another pair of feet wearing the socks in the library. Thank you, Gemma, for helping me out with that. I spent the whole term recording me in different areas with the socks, also editing it on the iPad using iMovie, which anyone would know is really hard to do, to drag the little thing with your finger to the exact precise moment. And my teacher knew I was doing something different from the rest of the classes, because this teacher's the greatest. He was one of the students than the teachers. He would check in on all the other students' videos, and he saw a bit of mine and he goes, wow, this is amazing, Bella. And that's really high praise coming from my music teacher, because he was one of my idols. He was actually in a band, he was a singer. He encouraged everyone's music ability, and I've always loved singing. My mum would even tell me, you know what, how about we get you singing lessons before you do any singing that you want to? And it always just felt like everyone was saying that I didn't have a great voice, but my teacher, he encouraged me to keep singing and such, and it really helped. To have this teacher look at one of my music works and just give such praise, it boosted my confidence. I had an idea what I wanted the verses to look like, but I had no idea what I was going to do for the chorus. I needed to have something with socks or something with adventure. And then I got a brilliant idea that to this day my friends still make a joke about. With my own socks, I would take pictures of my own feet in my own socks. My plan was to get 120 pictures of socks. I wanted it to change images between different socks on the beat. When I ran out of my own pairs of socks, and I was so surprised because I thought I owned more socks than that, I then started asking my friends, hey, can I take a picture of you and your socks? A lot of them just laughed and said sure, so I then used the iPad, take a photo, add it to the cutscene. I took a picture of the feet of the teacher in a pair of socks. That worked too. One of them even wore their pair of socks on my skateboard because I brought that along to help make the socks look like they were riding away off into Germany. I know it's weird. And my friends were just laughing, saying, oh my god, you have a sock fetish. That joke still remains to this day. I don't have one. It was just for music. I even got my friends online to help me send photos of them in their socks. And the joke spread to them as well. I'm starting to regret telling this story. In the end, I didn't even get 60 pairs of socks. And I needed 120. And I'd even taken some bad images off of Google that had Shutterstock, the Shutterstock watermark on them. I went, okay, how am I gonna do this? And in the end, I just repeated the last little bit of it. It's barely noticeable, but I then just put another filter over it. It's not really that noticeable because I had the video change from color to black and white, and I was trying to make it look like the socks in the second part were in black and white. While I was doing that, I was still having so much fun doing this. It was hard on the iPad, but I loved making this video. I concentrated on that more than my other assignments, which probably explains why I completely forgot about doing that English one. So we had just finished off the final exams, and everyone had handed in their music videos, and my teacher asked, hey Bella, is yours ready yet? And I was like, no, I'm really sorry. It's almost done, I promise you. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. Hand it in when it's ready. I don't care, because this looks so good and I want to see this fully finished product, not just a rushed assessment. And that made me go, wow, this is what teachers should be like. He saw what I'd already done and said, even if you don't hand it in fully, I'm giving you an A for this. And I was like, for my socks? At the time, me and my parents were having some family issues, or for the 5 week, I got banned from using the iPad because they claimed that I had internet addiction, but it might be right. I was begging them, please, I just need to record a few scenes. So they let me record them in the house. So then after some extreme begging, she let me use it to record the final scenes just around the house, and that's what I did for the end of the video. And I was like, oh my god, the camera quality on this is bad, because it was like almost the middle of the night while I was still working on this. And my mum had given me a time limit on how long I could use it, because it was the weekend. I managed to finally finish the video, and I showed my teacher, I showed my friends, and their jaws dropped at how good it was. They loved the story, they laughed at some of the moments, and they were like, oh, those are my socks, those are my socks. Hey, so those are the socks you used. I procrastinate all the time. And so I was really proud of this assessment. I was sad that it took me so long to make that whole video, but I was really happy with how it all turned out. And it was on an iPad too, which made it all that much harder to get it as fine detailed as I could. My teacher, he was like, this was worth the wait, and he gave me an A+ for that video. My friend even reminded him, like, this is way better than my video that you helped me edit. And he was like, oh wait, you also helped work on one of your friend's videos as well? Extra credit. I already had an A+ for this music video. A++. I got the double plus, the first double plus. And it was the last assignment ever that I did. Through most of high school, like the first few years of high school, at a different one, my grades were slipping. I used to be an A student, and I was starting to get my first ever E's and D's. And so finishing off high school with an A++, it made me feel really good. It made me feel like maybe I can handle the real world. Spoiler alert, And because of that video, I am forever labeled as the girl with the sock fetish. Okay, thank you for listening to my story again, if you did. Moral of the story, don't do what everyone else is doing. Be a rainbow sock in a world of white school socks. Thanks for watching.